Hi teachers, in this quick video, we're going to take a look at a handful of PDF resources available within Into Reading that may be very beneficial for you to download and print so that you have as reference sheets. To get there, we're going to go to Discover HMH Resources, and you're going to choose whatever your grade level is. Versions of these charts exist at every grade level, and they're typically found in the same exact places. Once we have our grade level chosen, we're going to select all resources and scroll down to choose Show Me Everything. We're going to use the component filter on the left-hand side to select these various resources. We're going to start with what I think is one of the most important resources. It's called Teaching with Priority Standards. We're going to check Teaching with Priority Standards, scroll down to the third option, and look for where it says HMH Priority Standards Pathways for K-6 English Language Arts. This is a very beneficial chart because it takes some of those priority standards and gives me, if I am teaching this priority standard, here's the anchor chart I might use, and here's some of the different texts that I might use. If I want to apply it, as in I want students to be practicing, it gives me resources where I could do that. And then for assessing and checking for understanding, it gives printables that you might pull for that particular standard. The second resource that I want to take a look at, we're going to uncheck the component, click the drop down again, and this time scroll down to Scope and Sequence. There are two different scopes and sequences, and all of this stuff is really available in the teacher's manual, but sometimes I find it easier to just have a couple printed pages as opposed to flipping through the teacher manual. This is going to give you an overview of that module, the essential question, the books with their genre, comprehension skills, vocabulary, and then if you scroll to the second page, it's going to give the foundational skills and writing workshop. This is great if I'm just trying to look through and pull different resources that really are going to allow me to address those standards that I am teaching in the classroom. That way I know specifically what modules to look in. Similarly, if I pull the foundational skills, scope, and sequence, I can see the same thing, but the specific foundational skills addressed at that grade level in each module and each week. That way you can pull the things that might be relevant to what you are teaching. We're going to uncheck scope and sequence, and this time we are going to scroll down and select the Rigby, looking for my R's, Rigby Leveled Library by Module. The Rigby Leveled Library by Module is going to give you an overview of all of the texts that are in your Rigby Leveled Readers that apply to that module, your fiction, nonfiction, genre. Lexile and level is great. So that way, if you're not 100% sure what the levels mean, you can pull that Lexile, and then the Take and Teach instructional resources, which are those blue cards that come with the different text. It'll show you what skill that it will focus upon within those different Take and Teach instructional resources. Keep in mind, you are not locked into using this particular text during this module. You could use this text in another module. While the texts are based on the module theme and they all kind of go together, there's nothing saying that some modules don't have an open enough theme that you could easily pull other text into, or that you have to stick with that specific theme that was given to you by Into Reading. You're more than welcome to kind of craft your own theme for things as well, as long as you're coming back to those standards that you want to be addressing. We're going to unselect component and go down to our reference materials this time. Reference materials, and I'm going to just pull the first one, which is word lists. I like the word list because it gives me an overview of the words covered for each area, whether they be the critical vocabulary, the instructional, or the high frequency words. Looking at this giant list, some of this may sometimes be a little overwhelming, so I might use this to guide what things I'm going to focus on with my students or with my grade level for that particular module or week. You also have the instructional routines, which can be found in the back of your teacher's manual, but those are different routines that you can use regularly with your class, and they give instructions on how to utilize those with students. The last thing I want to point out is getting to those anchor charts that I have already shared with you. I highly recommend starting there. It's a great starting place. And because they're based on skill and not based directly on story, everyone can use them regardless of what way you are approaching teaching reading. The other nice thing is if students get an anchor chart in first grade for, let's say, a skill like characters, the anchor chart in second grade for characters is going to look similar, but add a little bit more meat to it. So there is a progression from year to year with the anchor chart that still keeps a lot of the same ideas and definitions and visuals, but it continues to grow from year to year. To get there, you're going to select Discover, choose My Stuff, and choose Shared with Me. You can see I don't have anything here because I'm the one who originally created these collections. If you are missing one of the collections, don't hesitate to reach out. When you open the collection, you will notice the specific anchor charts for each of the areas with more than one page in each anchor chart. The digital version at the top, and scrolling to the bottom, you'll find the PDF version that you can always print for reference at any point as well. If you have any questions or need help finding any of these resources, don't hesitate to reach out.